What's up, outdoor junkies? It's your boy Justin here. Today we're going to be doing a comparison on hammocks. We have Amazon's cheapest full camping hammock setup. All right, this is the Sunyear camping hammock with tarp, everything you need, versus the Sierra Madre Research Ninox. Okay. Full disclosure, I bought all of this product with my own money. This I actually purchased directly from Amazon, and the Ninox I got on the Kickstarter. So I got their full setup with a bunch of accessories. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go down the line. We're gonna talk specs, price, pros and cons, you know, that sort of thing. And then we're gonna take this out into the field and we're gonna set these bad boys up and we'll talk about comfort, setup, all that stuff. So you're gonna come along with me for the journey. All right, so right off the bat, let's pull up our specs here, my friends. Why don't we get into price? Right off the bat, this is a big one. Now, if you're looking to get into hammock camping, I'm gonna do a whole separate video on hammock camping and things like that. What you wanna look for and, you know, that sort of thing. So this will be an interesting comparison because I've always kind of erred towards premium stuff when it comes to camping. When you're out in the wilderness, you wanna make sure that your gear is quality, that it's gonna protect you, and that it's gonna keep you safe, you know, all that fun stuff when you're out in the woods, especially if you're far away from home. All right, so right off the bat, price. The Sunyear camping hammock setup cost me $70. Amazon Prime, free shipping. It was actually $69.99 plus tax, okay? This particular setup is 106 inch. There is a longer version, so that's 8 feet, 8 inches-ish. I am 5'8", so it'll be interesting to see how this lays versus my other hammock, which is significantly larger. This setup comes with everything you need to hang it, straps, tarp, all the things are right here, okay? We'll talk weight and all that in a second. All right, the Ninox. So the Ninox now, I bought this on Kickstarter a couple of years ago when it was a brand new product. And I don't remember what it cost then, but I priced it out with all the stuff that I have now, or with all the gear that you would need to hang it. And it's about a $500 hammock. All right, so 500 bucks. The hammock alone is like 200 and change. Then you get the tarp on, you add the straps, all that stuff. These are both single layer hammocks. Now the Ninox, let's bring this up here. The Ninox is 137 inches. So this is 11 and a half feet. The big difference between I think the setups, now I haven't even looked at this hammock, like I looked at it, but I didn't lay in it, didn't set it up or nothing like that. I just kind of checked to make sure everything was there. The big difference between the Sunyear hammock and this is the kind of the design of the hammock itself. This one is cut in such a way that it's made to be laid in on a diagonal, which will flatten out your body. So most hammocks you kind of lay in, you're like a banana. What they started doing is cutting them on a diagonal so that you could kind of turn diagonally in the hammock and it'll give you this kind of flat lay. Most hammocks don't, you know, budget hammocks don't necessarily do that. But I have always found that I don't necessarily turn myself on a diagonal, and even when I do, I'm not getting the flattest lay. And honestly, I don't really mind that kind of curve in the hammock. It's kind of comfortable. So yeah, so that's kind of my take on that. All right, let's talk weight. All right, so I got my trusty kitchen scale here. With the Ninox first, because it's gonna be easier. So Ninox, now let's, everything is in here. Straps, the tarp is attached. 3 pounds, 6.7 ounces. 3 pounds, 6.7 ounces for the Ninox. All right, so 11-foot hammock, everything's included. 3 pounds, 6.7 ounces. 500 bucks. All right, this is the hammock. The hammock itself kind of packs into a little pocket on the side. There are a lot of other hammocks that do this. Grand Trunk, I think, does that. E-I-Know does that. So there's a few brands that have like the kind of self-stuffing setup. Let's see if I can put these on here together. Let's see. I feel like this is not gonna, oh, there we go. Okay, 4 pounds, 4 pounds, 14.9. So almost 5 pounds. It's literally just under 5 pounds. So 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 14 ounces. So almost a 2 pound difference between these two hammocks. Dimension wise, so let's see here. If you're kind of stacking them up side by side. All right. Not a huge difference, but there's definitely a difference. This is much more compact, a little skinnier, a little easier to manage. I would say though, you know, with having 2 separate pieces here, arranging them in your pack would be a little bit easier, because then this way you can kind of designate where you want parts to go. A lot of times, if I have a separate, this is a big tarp. If I have a separate tarp, sometimes I'll put that towards the top or in a place where I can get to it so that if it starts raining, I can just deploy the tarp. So, you know, that's something to think about also. I do have a separate tarp, like a big winter tarp that I use that does not fit in this. It doesn't sit in here. So that would be a separate, you know, kind of a separate bag for me, as well as some additional weight. It's pretty light, it's pretty compact, it's a nice one, but, all right, so basically that's everything as far as here in the Outdoor Junkies lab that I can really talk about. So we've got price, $70, $500. We've got size and weight, all right? So 3 pounds and some change, and then we've got just under 5 pounds here, okay? I mean, that's really it. There's a few things I want to kind of talk about, and I'll get into that in more details when we get out to the Outdoor Junkies lab, which is basically just outside. I swapped out the suspension for this, and I'll get into more detail on it. The suspension that came with this on the Kickstarter, and I'm not knocking the company because this is a nice hammock, the suspension sucked. There was a major design flaw. They tried to correct it. It wasn't corrected. The way it was designed, it had multiple pieces that could actually separate from one another, and then I lost a piece. It was totally unusable. So I went with the Dutch wear setup, which is the Dutch wear straps, the beetle buckle, and then I got an AM steel continuous loop that'll go on that, and I'll show you that in more detail. All right, so that's everything as far as the hammock, the price, all the you know, basic tech specs and stuff. Let's get these bad boys outside and get them set up and take a look at them. All right, see ya. What's up, Outdoor Junkies? We made it. We're in the Outdoor Junkie Outdoor Lab. All right, anyway, we're gonna set up our hammocks here-ish, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace. I'm setting up the Sierra Madre Research Ninox. Let's do this. All right, first we are setting up hammock straps, tree straps.
What's up, Outdoor Junkies? It's your boy J-Dog coming at you from the voiceover lab. I did do a hyperlapse, so I figured I would just do some voiceover here. You can see me setting up the Dutch wear beetle buckle and webbing strap. Little tip for the Ninox hammock is set your straps up super high. It's a very deep hammock, and you want to make sure you got enough clearance between your arse and the ground. So you can see me, I got it up pretty high. I'm going to check the lay here in a second to make sure that my butt doesn't hit the ground, and I've got enough room for my underquilt. All right, that's it. I'll see you on the flip side, friends. Booyah.
All right, now we're going to set up the Amazon Sunyear camping hammock. I had to switch spots because I realized that the 2 trees that I had originally picked, I don't think are far enough apart. I'll go into more detail as to how to set up hammocks and all that stuff in another video. This is more just a comparison to see if, you know, you can get out hammock camping on a budget. All right, let's do this. All right, tarp, hammock, and I brought an under quilt you'll see why. And I also brought 2 climbing grade carabiners in the event that the carabiners that come with this are not substantial enough to hold my skinny arse. All right, rubber band. All right, so it came with 2 very nice tree straps, I might add. So let's get these bad boys on the tree. Okay, so you can see here, it's got the webbing. So this part's gonna go around the tree, and this is what you're gonna link your hammock to, okay? All right, so I got the webbing side here, the loop. These are nice. This is a nice strap. It's well, I mean, the stitching looks amazing. It's gonna be a little weird. Yeah, I mean, normally I would not set a hammock up with this tree here, but I think it'll be fine. Okay. All right, so I'm trying to rush through this so it's not a super long video. I mean, obviously I can cut out what I need to, but also want to see how fast these hammocks can get set up. All right, so I'm gonna go with the furthest-ish to start. Okay. This is a very small hammock comparatively. All right, so. And zipper on one side. So I'm gonna flip this around here. Okay. All right, hammock is up. Let's just check our hang. Zippers, okay. So you always want to check your hang before you get in there and get everything set up. Okay, see what I mean? All right. So for my personal use, I would definitely swap out these carabiners for something a little heavier. All right, let's get this tarp up. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that's a beefcake. Ooh.
This is your friendly voiceover Justin coming back at you. This total setup took me about 25 minutes. It was the first time setting it up, so don't hold that against me. So basically what I did was dumped all the stuff out, checked my equipment, made sure I had everything. It's pretty self-explanatory once you kind of dug into it. There's some suspension for the bug net that I slung out to the tree there. And then I thought it was a continuous ridge line, but actually there's tie-outs, 2 middle tie-outs, and there's 4 corners. And then it looks like there's 2 small doors that kind of break the breeze to the hammock, which is actually very, very nice. And there's enough guy lines for everything. So it was a pretty nice setup. All the equipment was, looked pretty nice. And it went up fairly easy once I figured out what everything was for. So that was kind of the, you know, the big thing. And obviously the more you do something, the quicker you get at it. So once I had the tarp up and kind of tied out to both the trees, made a few adjustments to get it centered over the hammock, tied out all 4 corners, and then checked the hang, all that fun stuff. And it was set up pretty nice. So all in all, I think it was fairly easy for a first go.
Let's go
and
check the sucker. I'm gonna jump in there real quick.
A little bit faster.
Okay. It's roomy under here. You know, like the tarp isn't too, you know, it doesn't feel congestive or whatever. The hammock itself is very small. Okay. But this is good. Like, this is not bad. Could definitely use a little bit of, you know, TLC as far as setup goes, but that was just kind of a rush, first time ever setup. All right, so what we'll do, zippers feel a little on the cheap side. Bug net's fine. All right, let's see how it fares with my Hammock Gear budget underquilt. This is a 30-degree down underquilt. This one, it's just got a couple of S-clips and some very minor adjustable doohickeys here. All right, I just made a few tweaks to the underquilt on the hammock, and I'm just gonna kind of hop in there, and then I'll take the camera off the tripod and we'll do a quick walk around. All right. Okay. Okay, all right. So I can reach both sides to adjust my underquilt. Oh, I can feel that warmth already. Okay. Oh, this is not, oh, this is great. I'll tell you what though, I'm not gonna lie. I thought the other hammock was too big, but it is nice having that extra room to, you know, kind of move around it. This one cradles you very nicely though, so if you want to be burritoed in your hammock, this is definitely the way to go. All right. Okay. All right, let's get this sucker off the tripod and go take a walk through here. All right, this is the Ninox. All right, this is the Dutchware beetle buckle. And then this here is the Am Steel continuous loop. Okay, all right, here. Now, again, I don't have the tarp set up on that, so don't kill me for that. But, so let's do this here. Let's get a little darker here. Okay. And then if we look inside, let's see if we can get in here. go. Whew. Okay, this is the difference between the Ninox. I mean, there's no way for me to show you this on camera, but I mean, I have so much room in this hammock, which I found to be kind of detrimental to insulation. What happens is your insulation ends up all over the place. It's really hard to get your insulation right under you on a big hammock like this. You can easily, you know, pop out of your insulation. Try not to film directly up my nose. Okay. Obviously this would be set up a little different, but I just tried to do it quick for you, which is fine. But is this weird? This is super weird. Okay. So this is the Ninox, and then let's get into the Sunyear. Okay. I mean, it's tight. I could have probably went with the bigger one, but okay. It's comfy. I mean, it's really comfortable. I think for a starter hammock, this is fine. Wow, my nose is really crooked. You see that? This is what happens when you've had your nose broken a couple times. It don't go straight like other people's noses do. But yeah, so I could take a nap right now. I could seriously take a nap. The few things I don't like about this hammock, the bug net, which I could probably fix this, is very close to my face. It makes me feel weird. I don't like it. But it seems short. But then again, all my other hammocks are much longer than this one, so, which is fine. I would totally buy this hammock. I mean, I did buy this hammock. I totally bought this hammock. But if I were just getting into hammock camping and I wanted a budget option to get started, I think this is a great option. If you're just looking to, if it's just you and you just want a comfortable, inexpensive hammock, man, this sucker is nice. I would start with this hammock, absolutely, for 60 bucks, everything included. I mean, the tarp is nice. I would probably water seal everything, just to be extra sure. Like, I'd probably re-water seal the ridgeline just to make sure that it is water resistant, waterproof, because you don't want that dribbling on you. It says it's water sealed, but trust no one. All right, guys, I'm gonna pack this sucker up and head out. Okay. All right, friends, outdoor junkies, crazy people. I hope you got something out of this. This was a lot of fun. So final thoughts, the Sunyear, I would probably go with the bigger one. I'd pay that little bit of extra money to get the bigger hammock. Just because I'm 5'8" and it seems a little tight to me. So I think if you're bigger, you could fit in it. Like a 6-foot person could fit in it, but you would not be comfortable. So I don't recommend if you're a 6-footer. I'll put links to these in the description below, but I'll put links to the smaller one and the longer one in there, and maybe some other alternatives as well, you know, as some other hammock options that I think are really viable, including the Hennessy Hammock. Hennessy Hammock, they make awesome hammocks. All right, guys, I just wanted to give some final thoughts here as I'm packing up. So one of the big things that is always a big concern of mine is putting stuff away, right? Like packing up. Nobody ever wants to leave camping, but sometimes you gotta leave, right? Sometimes you just gotta go. And if packing up is a chore, if it's really difficult to pack up, that's a big deal breaker for me. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little concerned about packing up this Sunyear hammock, and it packed up very nicely. I'm a stuffer. I like to stuff everything in the bag. I don't want to fold it up, and you know, some of these things you can't get it back in the bag unless you just fold it up exactly the way it came out of the plant or whatever. I don't know. But I'm just gonna turn away from the wind here. Yeah. But it's stuffed. I mean, it's stuffed really well. You know, the straps are nice. I would definitely make some modifications. There's a few things that I would change as far as like the cordage, but other than that, man, solid hammock right out of the box, not gonna lie. Am I gonna trade it in for my Ninox? Probably not. But I can highly recommend it. I can definitely say that if you're looking to get into hammock camping, this is a solid choice. Like I said, I'll put a bunch of options, you know, of all different, for all different budgets in the description. But, you know, for 70 bucks, man, I'm very impressed, okay? All right, that's all I really had to say. I just wanted to throw that in there. And yeah, peace, love ya. Yeah.